Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another installment in this particular series where I show you some unusual albums that you may not be used to seeing every day. And some of these still hold up, some of them don't. And we'll just go through it and talk about maybe some sound quality issues here and there, or details about the releases and so forth. Okay, this is a 1985 release called Sessions. And back in 1985, this was quite the find at the time. And I don't know really the exact history. I'm pretty sure, though, that this was the first version of this to come out, also called Sessions. And I think this was going to actually be an official release. I think this was going to be probably the cover if they were going to put it out. It's a nice cover. It would have really been a nice package. They were thinking back then of putting "Leave My Kitten Alone" out, which was a Beatles for Sale outtake that they didn't use a song, and it was going to be a 45, but it never came to be. I think there were even picture sleeves that were made up for that too. Never came to be, but it looked like this was the closest we were going to come at the time to getting a new Beatles album, if you will, of songs that you hadn't heard before, or different versions of songs you'd already heard before. But I picked this up only in recent years. This particular copy, the one that I had gotten in 1985, had this cover, and the back was like an alternate from the Revolver cover that you're used to seeing. Paperback writer, actually, right? Um, Now this one I'm going to show you the label. This is an Odeon label. And the sound quality on this is really nice, especially for 1985. Back then you didn't get quality recordings like this. This is before the ultra rare tracks leak, before we got stuff like Unsurpassed Masters and stuff like that. A couple of years before, I think. So it was really the first time you got to hear songs like this. I'll show you the back cover of this as well. Some of the songs on here were really exciting at the time, as I say, but now you've got these pretty much released. I think everything here is pretty much released on the anthology and so forth. But you had Besame Mucho from June of '62. How Do You Do It? The song that the Beatles did by Mitch Murray. The early version of One After 909, Beatles did in 1963. Leave My Kitten Alone, which I mentioned, from 1964, for Beatles for Sale, that was. Then you had That Means a Lot and If You've Got Troubles, which is actually two tracks that were attempted in '65, I believe, during Help, at least one of them anyway, or maybe not. May '65, That Means a Lot, is listed in November '65, but either way, they were both '65. You've heard them if you have the anthology. An alternate version of I'm Looking Through You, and Christmas Time Is Here Again, an abbreviated version of that, which was a song they did on one of their fan club messages in 1967. Uh, and that was like side one, 8 tracks, which, pretty good for 1985. You hadn't heard these yet. This was before, as I say, the anthology, before you had anything else like Unsurpassed Masters or anything. In side two, we had What's the New Mary Jane from '68. Not Guilty, the George Harrison song that was unused uh, for the White Album. Come and Get It, Paul's version of the song that Badfinger would go on to record. The slow version of While My Guitar Gently Weeps, the acoustic version by George, which is really beautiful. I don't have a favorite. It's hard to pick whether I like the regular release version of While My Guitar Gently Weeps that was on the White Album, or whether I like the acoustic. They're both so beautiful in their own right. And then you have from '69, Mailman Bring Me No More Blues, which is a little bit of a jam thing that the Beatles did, I think, during the Get Back sessions. But I say at the time, this was a special release to find. It was so cool to hear these things, and mostly for those days, with the sound quality being so crisp. Um, yeah, are they of any interest now? Well, I'll leave that up to you. Not really, because all these tracks are available regularly, officially, so to speak. But for collectors, these are nice for the covers alone. I know a lot of you out there are going to agree with me on that. I'm talking to you, Beetle Brad, among other people, although no colored vinyl here. Uh, I'm not sure this one, as I say, I got this in only recent times, in the last few years, 2 or 3 years. I don't know if it's the first one that was pressed in '85. Somebody can tell me that. I don't. I'm thinking for some reason it's a reissue of a boot. Really, the label is just black on this one. I can't think that the first version coming out of this had just a plain black label. So let me know. Anyway, hope you'll stay in touch for another installment in this series. It's been a long time between chapters, and hopefully I won't make the next one months away or weeks away. Take care.